Hello and welcome back to Suspend Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Betholkus, and it's time for The Boys, Season 2, Episode 6, The Bloody Doors Off. Welcome, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Work obviously happened, and yeah, I had to watch the episode and get the thumbnails together and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. Let me take care of some business first, then we'll get into it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, at the very end of this video, a video is going to pop up here. And basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos of my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And so, if you like what's up there, hit that subscribe button down there. And if you don't, hit the like button while you're down there. If you want to know when I'm beyond live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, but no tier set up on the Patreon. I'm waiting until I hit 1,000 subs before I, take money from you guys and all that kind of stuff, because I want to give you something in exchange for that. And then also I have a link to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. There we go. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video, and you can comment down below in the comment section. Since this is The Boys, there we go. All righty. So, a lot happened in this episode. Starlight got her chip taken out by Frenchie with the saw that can cut through a lot of stuff. And so she can go out on an away mission with them. So that whole email chain that she'd seen from Stormfront's computer, the one with Stan Edgar emailing her stuff about Sage Grove, the psychiatric facility. Yeah, she wasn't able, of course, to delve into those emails because Stormfront, of course, caught her at that point. No, I was not composing a rap anthem. Thanks, Raymond. But no, close though. So of course she goes off with them to go and find out what this Sage Grove place is. And Sage Grove turns out to be a repository for people being experimented on with Compound V by Vought. And essentially they're trying to stabilize Compound V is what's going on. They also find Lamplighter there, which of course is a real big deal for Frenchie because remember Lamplighter killed Mallory's kids, and he's been jonesing to kill Lamplighter for a long time. And of course, Stormfront comes by to basically see how he's doing because, of course, we saw that she is the one that's directing Lamplighter at this point. Homelander, of course, has his little hissy fit with Stormfront because she tells him that she's going to go off to Vought Tower, and of course she's not there, and he burns down half the set at the Dawn of the Seven movie. Queen Maeve, in the meantime, gets a GoPro camera from the deep because he has his buddies, under the sea, find one of the cameras, and it has the basically the blackmail that she needs for her Homelander there. Unfortunately, Elena sees it too and thinks of her as a monster, which she pretty much is now at this point. Yeah, so like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then we find out why he always got blamed for Mallory's kids dying because he was always supposed to be watching Lamplighter. And we find out that one of his friends OD'd and he left for half an hour to basically revive his friend because we find out a lot about Frenchie's background. We find out that he was, 8 years ago. We find out that Frenchie, liked to do a lot of drugs, was a male. He turned tricks. The Golden Girls is what he lives his life by. And that Cherie and a friend of his, Jay, were his family, were his Golden Girls too. And yes, Frenchie's name we find out is Serge. Yes. So that's the other thing. And also Mother's Milk is called Marvin. That's his real name. And so when he left for that half an hour, that's when Lamplighter had killed Mallory's kids. Only thing was, Lamplighter was not going to kill Mallory's kids. He was going to kill Mallory. She was supposed to be in that bed. So he said when he lit it on fire, it wasn't until he heard the screams, and by then it was too late. And so Lamplighter is actually tortured by this as well. And we also see 5 years ago, they were using Lamplighter, the boys group, Mallory, Butcher, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie, to gain information on Vought. And so, yeah, it's kind of like they bit themselves in the ass on this. And yeah, there's I don't know. Something else is going to come out of the wash in this, is what we're going to get. Um, and then of course, Huey gets hurt in the shall we say prison break, I guess you can say, from Sage Grove, where Cindy, who is a new soup, I guess we're seeing there, releases all the prisoners, and yeah, and mayhem ensues. She's the only one that survives all of this, by the way. And by the way, the guy with the big dick that can use his dick as a prehensile tail, if you will, because I almost used that as the thumbnail, and then I thought better of it. His name in the comics as well, actually he was in the comics as well, is called Love Sausage, and that's what they retained his name for the show as well, Love Sausage. And the big reveal that we get at the end is that Stormfront finally comes clean to Homelander and says, yes, I was born in 1919. She was part of the Nazi party, like the heads of the Nazi party. Her and Vought were married because she was she was actually the first person to get injected with stable compound V. And so remember, she's married to Vought, who created the Vought, compound V, and the Vought company. So she owns Vought because Vought is now dead. She inherited that company. Just remember that later on, because I told you so on that fairly early on. So she's been running that company for a while. So she essentially tells Homelander, that he is the ideal with the Superman that they've been looking for. And yeah, she goes off into her whole, Nazi rhetoric and whatnot, and basically says that she loves him with all her heart, and that he'll never be alone, that they will never be alone as long as they have each other, which is something that he was talking about early on, about not being alone. He was telling this to his son, who wanted nothing to do with him, of course. So, wow. Yeah. Lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. So, I'm wondering if Mallory is now going to be back in the game, because she did not kill Lamplighter. She let him live so he could suffer. And yeah, lots of stuff. Holy crap. One of my favorite lines, though, is Huey going, yeah, it's kind of like Pokemon, only if they had Hep C. He's talking about the rats that are where he lives with. And that was one of my favorite lines. It's just kind of funny. Oh my God. And when Cindy, man, when she goes off and pops that first guy, and I mean literally pops him, I went, oh my God. Cause yeah, I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting that much blood. I mean, that was a blood bag right there. Just poof, it went off. I'm wondering what her power set is, because I mean, I'm guessing she manipulates things with her mind, and then she's also bulletproof as well. And obviously Stormfront proof, electricity proof, because she took Stormfront's biggest blast, and we see her alive at the end. So who knows? Oh yeah, and by the way, Frenchie still blames himself for Mallory's kids, and that was the reason why he never corrected them as to where he was, helping his friend who was ODing, because he wanted to accept that punishment, if you will. And he tells Kimiko, finally, he goes, I was thinking if I could save you, that it would atone for my sins. He goes, but I finally realized you don't need saving. And my sins are my own, is what he says, which is also a good thing. We got all that in there. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff in this. Oh yeah, and Starlight and Butcher kind of bonding over Huey and saying, about the kids shampoo that he uses and the Axe body spray. And then, Butcher shares with her, yeah, every morning he slathers on that Desitin on his ass because he's got a rash down there. She's like, holy shit, I don't want to know that. you know? And yeah, so they kind of bond over Huey because quite honestly, Butcher was ready to pop her with another 50 caliber round in the head after she got him into Sage Grove. And yeah. So I'm wondering how close Vought actually is to a stable compound V. Oh, and you know what? I almost forgot too. The Deep. So the Deep, he recruits A Train for the collective, and we get Alistair, who is the head of the collective, welcoming A Train in and basically telling him, that they're going to give Shockwave your uniform. He's going to be the new A Train. And he's like, they can't do that. And he goes, why not? It's copyrighted. It's trademarked. They can do whatever they want. He goes, but I can get you back in the 7. Yeah. Do you want a Fresca? Yeah. So Raymond K. Hessel, the head of the church, Alistair, I've got the IMDb up here. So Alistair O'Donnell is played by Goran Viznik. He's a great actor. He's actually was in Kripke's other series that was on NBC that also got canceled, which was Timeless. He was awesome in Timeless. Timeless is one of my favorite shows, by the way. And it just got canceled way too soon. It was on. I miss Timeless as well, Penn. That was one of those shows that about time travel that was really, 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 really well done, and also showed you the implications of time travel, of fucking with the past, and how it changes the future. And yeah, it was kind of interesting. So, although lately there was a paper. And I'm just going to go a little bit geeky for you for just a minute there. There was a paper that just came out about time travel, mathematically proving that if you change the past, it doesn't create a paradox. That the same event will happen at some way. Like if you go back to stop the first person who gets COVID-19, you actually probably will end up getting it, or someone else will end up getting it, and it'll still spread. So, yeah. And that was the whole thing. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was actually reading it and I started getting a headache and I'm like, I got to move past. So hence my aspirin that I've got going on here. That's right. No paradox. He mathematically proved it. That was his paper, was that there was no paradox for time travel if someone could invent it. So yeah, if you killed baby Hitler, someone else would just rise into his place. Yeah. I was kind of fascinated by that as well because sorry, I had a little gnat flying past there. There's a whole movie called The History of Time Travel that deals with that, and not really the paradoxes, but how time is kind of fluid. I kind of liked that one. But anyway, back to the boys. It's gonna be interesting to see where we go from here because we only have 2 episodes left, kids. 2 episodes left. That's it. And then we go into the I think we have the Butcher episode after that. They still haven't announced when they're releasing it, but I think it's supposed to be after the season finale. Yes, the season has gone extremely fast. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's out there and more stuff that's coming out too. I'm actually happy that there's more stuff coming out. But yeah, this is a good episode. This is a really good episode. We got a lot of closure on things, and I'm fairly sure we don't know what they did with Lamplighter, how they're going to, because Mallory, of course, let him live, but how? Because she actually asks, "What are we going to do with him?" And then we don't find out the answer because most likely they're going to use him again for stuff. And I know it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. It's going to come back and bite them in the ass. And Queen Maeve's plan about confronting Homelander with the video to let her and Elena go is going to bite her in the ass because Stormfront's going to be involved. And Stormfront's got some kind of big plan going on. I don't know what that phase 12.4 is, what that is. We don't know. Yeah. Penn says, I like Lamplighter, the character, the actor, and the real life twin brother. Yeah. Too bad, they had to be involved in the whole X-Men thing and Bryan Singer, because Bryan Singer kind of fucked up one of the twins' lives. We won't go into that, though. Raymond K. Hessel says, Billy wanted to shoot Starlight, too. Yeah, exactly. Will he turn Daenerys? No, he's not going to do that. Yeah. And what's the church's involvement in all this? The Church of the Collective. What in the fuck are they doing? What are they up to? And I'm wondering if they might have an in to Compound V because they have a lot of information. So they probably have some inside source. And I wouldn't be surprised if the other dude from Timeless, the guy who played Rufus, who works at Vought, is their inside person. Just keep that one in mind there. I'm fairly sure that's what's going to be happening there. I had to think about it for a second, and Kripke likes using his people that actors that he likes to use, and that's what's going to happen, I think. Penn says, I was getting a little Captain Jack Sparrow vibe from Butcher in that one scene. Yeah, he did do a little kind of swagger a little bit, a little bit. It's just a guess, Penn. It's just a guess, but I'm thinking that is the case because remember, he's the one who had a relationship with that the soup that could use ice powers, and she froze his dick off when she had an orgasm. And I'm fairly sure the Church of the Collective was the one that helped him through all of that. You can almost guarantee that one. Yeah. I just remember it because it was just fucking outlandish. That's why. Kind of like having a gigantic prehensile dick. It's choking people out. Fuck, man. Yeah. Oh, good stuff. So, what else do I have going on this week? Well, tomorrow is an episode of Saturday Morning Blast Off. That's where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. There's a lot of news this week. A lot of stuff's coming out. Sunday is going to be a double header. We're going to get episode 9 of Raised by Wolves, that batshit crazy show. And then after that, we're going to do Lovecraft Country, HBO's Lovecraft Country, which is also coming close to getting near season finale time there. Monday, I'm off. Tuesday is an episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, I'm going to be doing the Hilary Swank series on Netflix called Away. That's the Mission to Mars thing. Wednesday, I'll be off. Thursday will be, I believe, the season finale of Raised by Wolves, unless they do something weird and all of a sudden have an episode 11 as well. We'll see. And then, of course, we wrap it all back around to Friday with The Boys. So there you have it. Yeah. Good stuff going on. So if you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video at the very end here. If you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule up there, and all the links to my social media are there as well. As Penn has already put in the chat. Yes. And again, sorry for being late, but like I said, work gets in the way. Does happen. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. I will see you again tomorrow morning for Saturday morning blast off. So until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be in a van that gets flipped over, and you really don't want that to happen when some soup kind of flips over your van and sends shrapnel everywhere. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, take care, be well, and stay safe. Thanks, everybody. Good night.